So hey guys, a massive trailer just dropped online for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Just bear in mind there might be possible spoilers for the film, although because the film's so under wraps and it's being kept very secret, it's pretty hard for me to know if the stuff I'm saying is fact or complete nonsense. So just bear that in mind though, because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. And then also I'm going to be talking a bit about the books, the canon books. And if you don't know what canon means, it pretty much means that the books they've released since Disney bought the license are canon, which means they've taken place in the Star Wars universe and are true. So if something happens in the books, it means it's happened to the character pretty much. Pretty straightforward. I'm just going to be sharing my thoughts. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Also just note that I have taken some concepts and ideas from people like Chris Stuckman, Mr. Sunday Movies, Collider Jedi Council, and a website called StarWarsNewsNet.com. So just bear that in mind because I don't want to be, stealing information from people. But yeah, we all fans, we all speculating, so let's just get right into this and let's check it out. Cool. Okay, so firstly, love the scene. I love the whole shot. It's just so well composed and it looks really, really cool. So I really dig that. Interesting theory from Chris Stuckman. He had a very interesting concept because he thinks that after the scroll disappears, this will be the backdrop of that shot and they'll look like little stars. But then the first shot will just go straight into this scene here with Rey, which could actually be really cool, so I'm excited for that. I think it's pretty safe to say this is the destroyed Star Destroyer that's on Jakku, and she's just scavenging it for any parts or whatever.
Who are you?
Great shot, look at this, guys. I'm seeing this in IMAX, I can't wait. This looks like classic Star Wars stuff, this really does. Great scene. Another thing about this film is I'm just so grateful that they shot on location. And obviously there was a bit of CGI used, but I mean if you look at this scene, this is a real desert they really shot here, which is just really cool. A lot of speculation going around that this might be the foot of an AT-AT, which were those big machines on Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back that were trying to get to the rebel base. It's also interesting to see that this ship is flying away, and I was speculating that Rey kind of has a dream. Daisy Ridley's character, Rey, has like a dream to just get off this planet and start a new life somewhere else, and to just explore the galaxy, kind of like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars A New Hope. I actually think it's very cool as well because this scene here reminds me of this scene. And that's cool because I have a feeling she's a Skywalker. I could be completely wrong, but I have a feeling she's a Skywalker. Either Han Solo and Leia's child or Luke Skywalker's child. In the old Legends novels, there were Skywalker children involved, so I think this could be a major possibility. And she just looks like a Skywalker, look at her, and she's just fixing stuff like how Anakin and Luke used to be. I don't know, she looks like a Skywalker. She looks like a lot like Mark Hamill, I think. Well, looks like she could be related to him. But I also can see a bit of Carrie Fisher in there, who plays Leia. So I don't know, I have a feeling she's a Skywalker, and also have a feeling that her brother is Kylo Ren. But that's just a speculation. A lot of fans have thought that, but we also could be wrong. Lucasfilm Limited. Cool, so I have a feeling this is where the Empire is retreated onto the snow planet sort of vibe. It's not Hoth, it's definitely not Hoth, but I have a feeling after the Emperor was killed, the Empire retreated here and they started rebuilding their forces, and this will be like their main base, their 2-degree Death Star. And also, if you see if you look in the poster, on the top right hand corner there is a weird orb sort of weapon looking thing, which we have no idea what it is, but I have a feeling it's going to be a Death Star sort of thing, which is, it's cool, but I really just hope it's not going to be another movie about, hey look, we the resistance, we the rebels, we have to infiltrate this base, we have to blow it up. so no planets are blown up like Alderaan.
I was raised to do one thing. I've got nothing to fight for.
Great scene, and I just love Finn's voice because he's actually a British actor, John Boyega. He's a legend. I follow him on Snapchat. He's actually really funny, but his accent's really cool. He says, I was raised to do one thing," and then he continues to say, "But I've got nothing to fight for." And if you read Lost Stars, I don't know, this is my personal speculation, but a character in that novel had a similar character arc, which is cool. And I like that. I like how Finn is a guy who probably at a young age thought the Empire was this legit thing. He was going to be fighting for freedom, justice, peace, and order around the galaxy. But once he joins the Empire, I think he realizes, no, this was a mistake. There's violence here. These people are cruel. These people are unjust. And I'm out. I want to get out of here. It's going to be cool, and I think he's going to be a very interesting character. I think it's pretty safe to say that the ship here, the TIE Fighter, is his one, and that it crash lands on Jakku, and that's where he meets Rey Skywalker. Oh yeah, on a side note as well, they haven't released any surnames for Finn and Rey. I think it's just Finn and Rey, because Poe Dameron's got a surname, but Finn and Rey don't have surnames. And I think it's a very clever move, because now we don't actually know who's who. I don't think Finn is going to have a family background from the original trilogy. There were some crazy speculations going on that he could be Lando's kid, which I really hope is not the case, because I don't know. I don't see Finn as a relative or a son of Lando. That just doesn't really add up for me. I think the TIE Fighter crashed on Jakku, and that's where he meets Rey. Just by the way, great shot. It's just so cool. I mean, look at that. It's so cool. Another great scene. I love how it's composed, etc., etc. But also just really cool to see that this planet Jakku is literally desolate. There's nothing here. I have a feeling this is where Rey is, down here somewhere, and that this little village is literally like the only thing on the planet. But also a feeling this might be a planet where people come to hide. Like to hide out from the Empire, and maybe from bounty hunters and that sort of stuff. That's my personal speculation, but yeah, let's carry on. Great expression on John Boyega's face. This guy looks tired. He looks like he's seen some stuff. He looks like he's literally just crashed a TIE Fighter, which he has. I'm really excited for his performance. I think this guy looks awesome. I've never seen him in a movie before. But I'm excited because, this looks really cool. His whole acting looks really good. Okay, before we get straight into the scene, just want to say, you can see a J.J. Abrams lens flare. Classic J.J. Abrams. Classic. But look at Kylo Ren. He looks so badass. And he looks like he's got the back of Darth Vader's helmet, which I think is a hint that he is obsessed with Darth Vader. But let's carry on.
Nothing will stand in our way. I'm finished. What you started.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started. Great lines by Kylo Ren. This guy's going to be kicking ass. I'm telling you, this whole scene is so cool. Look at this whole shot. It just looks like something straight out of the original trilogy. I don't know who the cinematographer of this movie is, but flip, they've done a good job. But Kylo Ren, I really have a feeling he's completely obsessed with Darth Vader's history, and is just out there to get revenge for him. Because I also have a feeling that some of the Empire, actually the whole Empire, I don't think they know Darth Vader turned good in the end and actually killed the Emperor. I have a feeling they think Darth Vader was murdered by Luke Skywalker. And in Kylo Ren's eyes, Darth Vader was the ultimate hero in his mind. And I think he ultimately wants to be like him. In one of the books called Star Wars Aftermath, there is a weird group, a cult that is out there to collect Darth Vader relics and Sith relics, I think. I haven't read the book yet, but I think that's what happens. And everyone's saying that Kylo Ren could be either a member of that or becomes a member of that, because they say that this group of people are completely obsessed with Darth Vader. What you started.
What you started.
By the way, great voice. You can kind of hear that it sounds like Darth Vader, but they didn't rip it off. Yeah, I love his voice. I can't wait for this character. He just looks awesome. Okay, so firstly, look here. Oscar Isaac plays Poe Dameron, who will be a Resistance pilot. If I ever say Resistance, it's pretty much the rebels. They're just called the Resistance now, apparently. But just look at his facial expression. Look at his eyes. Look how red they are. I think Kylo Ren is using the Force to manipulate his thoughts or torture him or something. But I just love this scene because you can just see his expression here really comes into play, and like he really looks like he's really feeling like Kylo Ren's power empowering him, and it's just cool because this actor is brilliant. He's in a lot of good movies, if you've seen him, a lot of like indie films, but he's actually such a good actor. I'm so glad he's in the Star Wars universe. But it's also interesting because it looks like Kylo Ren has the Force, which is interesting because a lot of people didn't know if he was going to have the Force or not. But I think it's pretty much hints that he will have the Force, and that he's using the Force to torture Oscar Isaac's character. Just quickly, I think this will pretty much be the outcome of the First Order's new super weapon, which you can see here. I think that's the new super weapon shooting, and then this scene here. Nope, too far. The scene here is like the destruction that it causes, which looks pretty crazy.
There are stories about what happened.
Okay, quickly, great scene, looks really cool. But if you read Lost Stars, you'll know that the Star Destroyer crash lands on Jakku. Again, just a little thing for the Star Wars readers out there. And also in the Star Wars Battlefront game, there'll be a DLC pack called The Battle of Jakku, and I'm guessing this ship actually crash lands while you're playing on the map, which is actually going to be really cool. Yeah, I mean, you obviously don't have to read Lost Stars to know what's happening in Star Wars The Force Awakens, but it's just cool that they, in Lost Stars, that they reference the ship, and you actually know what happens to cause it to crash and stuff. So that's really cool. But yeah, this whole scene is great.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true.
Cool, so Rey pretty much says there were stories about what had happened, and then Han Solo responds with, "It's true, all of it," which is just epic because I don't know if you remember in Star Wars A New Hope, but Han Solo wasn't really a believer in the Force or anything like that. He kind of just thought it was wacky religious beliefs and that it wasn't true and it was just nonsense. So it's really great to see in this scene that he's actually telling Rey and Finn that, you know what, it was true. All of this happened. Just quickly, this hyperspace scene looks awesome. Classic Star Wars. It looks really cool. I'm seeing the movie in IMAX and in 3D, and although I'm not a fan of 3D, I have a feeling this is going to be really cool to check on the IMAX 3D screen. I'm super excited for that. Okay, so remember that cult sort of thing I was talking about, the people who are obsessed with Darth Vader? I have a feeling this is them. The Knights of Ren, and that they are out there to collect Sith relics and Darth Vader relics, etc., etc. Because I mean, they're in possession of the Darth Vader helmet. So yeah, I think they're kind of like a group who just want everything about the Sith. They want to know how to become the Sith, because as you know, the Sith don't exist anymore because Darth Vader killed the Sith. That was a prophecy in the old and prequel trilogy, and he fulfilled that prophecy in the end. So yeah, it's just cool that they're collecting Sith relics and stuff, apparently. That's my speculation, but yeah, I'm really excited for that. And the scene is cool. I mean, look how great it looks. It's awesome. I love it so much.
Dark side. Jedi.
Cool, so that's a great scene here with Poe and Finn. Um, if you looked in the Comic-Con footage that came out earlier this year, the behind the scenes, Poe Dameron actually has this jersey on at the beginning. And I have a feeling Finn, as a stormtrooper, captures him. He gets put in like he gets captured or whatever, and then when Finn escapes, he gets the jersey. And I think this whole little scene here is a bit of this whole scene here has a bit of tension, and I'm keen to see how these characters develop.
Jedi.
Look at their faces and stuff. It just looks like there's gonna be a lot of tension with those two characters, which I'm excited for. Also, Millennium Falcon, baby, that's cool. So this probably is the new Resistance base, kind of like you have in 4. But yeah, it's cool. And if you look closely in the background as well, we see some aliens and stuff, which is cool. So yeah, I'm just keen for Finn and Poe's development as well. That looks exciting. Cool, so look here, Mandalorian flag. Just saying, I didn't pick that up. Some other fans have picked that up. But yeah, this looks really interesting. Some people think this might be where Luke's hiding out. Some people think it's like a bounty hunter hideout, or like a pirate hideout. But yeah, they have just a whole lot of flags with different symbols on it, which we don't really know. We do know what that symbol means though. It's on Boba Fett's armor, and yeah.
They're real.
Cool, so
Yep.
this little scene here, this little scene here was played in the Star Wars Comic-Con the Star Wars Force Awakens Comic-Con trailer that previewed earlier this year. Many people don't think this is Luke Skywalker, but I honestly think it is. There's a fire here. I have a feeling it's like a campfire sort of vibe, and that this is Luke Skywalker. His right hand was cut off in The Empire Strikes Back. That is his robot hand, and I really think this is Luke Skywalker. Because I mean, R2-D2 as well. Let's face it, he's quite a badass, and I don't think he would let anyone touch him who he didn't trust. So I really think this is Luke Skywalker, and I think this is on the planet where he's hiding out. Which, if you've read Star Wars Weapon of a Jedi, that takes place between episode 4 and 5. Luke Skywalker pretty much goes on a little adventure, and he visits this planet called Deveron, I think that's how you say it, where there's an old Jedi temple ruin. Okay, so this is a bit spoilery. Because I read that book, I have a feeling this is where he's hiding out now, because at the end of the book, he kind of hints that he wants to kind of start the Jedi up again. He wants to train new Jedi, and that he would return to this planet or something. So I have a feeling this is Deveron, I think it's how you say it, Deveron, and that he's returned to the Jedi Temple ruins, and that he's hiding out here, kind of like what Yoda did on Dagobah. In my opinion, it's pretty safe to say this is the hideout that Luke's at, and that he's going to be hiding out at a Jedi Temple ruin. Captain Phasma, lens flare, classic J.J. Abrams. This shot's cool though. They're obviously going into a village and completely destroying it. I'm guessing it's Jakku, and they're probably looking for Finn and Rey. Dead character. Guys, someone is going to die. And it's going to suck. It's going to suck. It's not going to be one of the new characters. I really don't think so. I have a feeling this is going to be either Chewbacca or Han Solo. I don't think Luke Skywalker is going to die yet, but then again, she could just be hiding behind something, and she's super scared. But I have a feeling someone dies, and she's super upset about it. But yeah, we don't really know yet. But yeah, I'm speculating that this will be a character from the original trilogy who dies, and many fans think the same.
The Force.
Badass. These guys are awesome. I'm so glad they're back. It's safe to say Finn is with them, because in the shot he is with them. Looks like Chewie gets a bit injured, and it looks like they're on this planet where a lot of this was taking place. Let me just go back and find it. this whole shot here. Looks like they're on this planet here. People think this might be the Jedi Temple, or I might think this is the Jedi Temple. You can see that's like old ruins of something, so it could be the Jedi Temple. Also, you see Kylo Ren's ship in the background behind this X-wing. But again, total speculation. I have no idea if that's true or not. So let's go back here.
It's cool.
So yeah, this I think is the end of the film, or like the last act, and yeah, there's Poe Dameron there, and this whole I think if you look in the corner here, this is a part of the super weapon that they've built, kind of like the Death Star, which looks like it's taking a similar approach to A New Hope, where they're gonna have to attack this thing and whatever. But yeah, it looks like a cool shot. I'm keen for these space battles, not space battles necessarily, but these X-wing versus TIE fighter shots and stuff in IMAX, because that's going to look really cool. And even if you're just watching in a 2D cinema, I think these shots are going to just look epic. So I'm really excited for that. This is cool, but yeah, she looks pretty angry. She looks scared, and yeah, it looks like she's pretty bummed. So yeah, she's obviously shooting at someone. If you watch the clip again. So yeah, I wonder who she's shooting at. Could it be Luke Skywalker? So here, an Empire ship is being destroyed. How do we know it's from the Empire? There's a little mouse droid here. You've seen in the original trilogy. A ship does blow up a Star Destroyer, which isn't really a spoiler, but it's a pretty cool shot. And yeah, I'm keen to see how that happens. Han and Leia. This is really cool because Leia still needs Han and Han still needs Leia. It looks like although they've been through some struggles, that they're still there for each other, they're still relying on each other, which is just really great. Just gotta watch this again, guys. Watch this scene. Just watch it. Look at his face. He is so scared. This fight is going to be completely outnumbered in my opinion. I think Kylo Ren is literally just going to really show Finn what a mistake he's made in the scene, because yeah, you can just see his look of concern. I have a feeling Finn doesn't really know what he's doing, but he's trying to be brave and he's trying to save people. But I think he's going to get his butt kicked by Kylo Ren. It's also really interesting because the shot, if you watch it again, let's just watch it again. Kylo Ren definitely does not have his hood on, which is interesting because everyone was kind of thinking that he's going to be like a Darth Vader character where his helmet will be on throughout the new trilogy. But obviously in this scene we realize that he's taken his helmet off. And I just have a feeling that he's going to have kind of a scary looking face. But that's just me. So he's just going to get his butt kicked by Kylo Ren, I think. But it's really great to see Finn has Luke and Anakin's old lightsaber, which is really cool. It's also going to be interesting to see how he gets this, because at the end of Star Wars Episode 5, Luke loses his blue lightsaber. So someone obviously picks it up and someone obviously gives it to Finn, which is going to be pretty cool to see.
The Force, it's calling to you.
So there's a character in the background saying, the Force, it's calling to you, and then she ends off over here saying, just let it in.
Just let it in.
I don't really know much about this character. Some were saying it's Leia, but I don't think it sounds anything like Leia. So it's going to be interesting to see who that character is. I don't think it's Rey either. And then the trailer just ends with this.
Just let it in.
So yeah, I love that trailer, guys. If you just listen to the trailer as well, the music is just so cool. I'm so excited for this. So those are my thoughts on the Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer. Again, I was completely speculating. I have no idea if anything I said was true or complete rubbish. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. The mystery around this film, I think, is going to remain until the release of the film. They've said this will be the only trailer from now on till the film. It's just really also exciting because the film will release in the next couple of months. So it's actually not too far off if you think about it. I'm so excited. I love Star Wars. It's been a part of my childhood. I literally can't wait. So yeah, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what your thoughts are about some of the stuff I discussed. And yeah, like this video and like me on Facebook at Happy Chappy Movie News. Cool. Thanks guys. Bye.